Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the episode 2, season 1, I believe, of our travel podcast about traveling in general in Slovakia, Central Europe. Peter, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Tomasz.
Lovely. So where did we end up last time? I have some more questions for you. We talked about your company, the Best Slovakia Tours. But my biggest question is, and what our customers, guests were asking as well, now, is it safe to travel right now?
It's a very often question, I must say. Almost like every traveler, when we are doing the booking request, this is like one of the first questions.
Yeah.
Which is no doubt, because
we know what's happening.
if somebody is now in Canada or in Australia or US, they know what's going on in the world, but still, we are here, we live and work here.
Yeah.
So I must say Slovakia and also our neighboring countries and also generally Central Europe is safe.
Yeah.
In Slovakia, my explanation for this is that I travel a lot with my family, my 2 kids and my wife. I travel around Slovakia and also neighboring countries. And this is exactly like I will take customers only up to that destination where I go without any doubts with my family.
So where you feel safe?
When I am absolutely 100% sure it's safe.
Yeah.
Of course, there is some level of crime is in every country in the world.
Yeah, well, that's
we
understandable.
just really, for me, Slovakia is my homeland. I was born here. I grew up here. I work and live here, and I feel absolutely safe. Doesn't matter if it's like early in the morning in Bratislava, evenings, whether it is central Slovakia, western, eastern Slovakia, it's a safe country. And also in these worlds.
Awesome, fantastic. Now, I travel a lot, and I traveled in many countries, but never really in Slovakia. So, tell me, I don't actually know my own country that well. So why Slovakia? Why should the guests choose this country over other countries?
Okay, so imagine that most of the travelers, they have been to big capitals like Rome, London, Paris, all of these, and also in different countries in Central Europe. But many of them, they have never been to Bratislava. They don't know what is Slovakia and Bratislava. They sometimes say like, oh, Slovenia. I'm like, no, it's okay. Similar names, even similar countries up to some point, similar background maybe in terms of Slavic people, Slavic languages, but still different countries. And it's not Slovenia, it's Slovakia. But, Slovakia is, and that's actually our advantage. We are still undiscovered.
Yeah.
Undiscovered country. But if you really like something like beautiful nature, we have 9 national parks. We have beautiful Tatra mountains.
Yeah, I love Tatra.
If you like hiking tours, if you like medieval castles, medieval towns, for example, and all this medieval history, we have 13th century castles practically spread around Slovakia, right?
Yes.
If you like beautiful and unique wooden churches. We have in northeastern Slovakia beautiful churches, very special. If you like caves, if you like wine tastings, because we also have some wine agents.
Oh, I love wine.
Yeah, we have plenty of things which customers are usually like, oh wow, I had no idea before planning the trip,
And especially such a small country, right?
It's such a small, the area is very small. It's like less than 50,000 square kilometers, so which is like, let's say, we are slightly bigger than Denmark. If you have ever been
so
to Denmark.
From east to west pretty fast, basically.
Yeah, 5.5 hours west to east, 2.5 hours north to south. So it's a very small country. And in the small country, it's really like almost everything.
Packed.
Yeah, it's all packed. And that's the advantage. Like you travel from Bratislava 2 hours and you are in the beautiful Mala Fatra, small Fatra national parks. If you travel a little bit further, you are in the Tatra Mountains, which is for me like absolutely fascinating. And so we could go on with this. So within few hours of traveling, you can have lots of, and not to forget about Slovak hospitality. Slovaks are friendly, hospitable people and rich for folks' traditions. So it's a small land, but really like there are different, even like different dialects in Western, Central, Eastern Slovakia.
Absolutely.
And also folk traditions. So that's also something special.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now, tell me a little bit more about your company. I mean, what do you offer as a services goes? You know, like, I mean, if I want to book it, what should I expect as a guest?
So, firstly, we are dedicated. We are focused on private tours, day trips from Bratislava. That's like part one. More important are the private tours around Slovakia within, let's say, 5 days, 11 days, even like 12, 14 days. So those are the private tours. And then ancestry tours, which is the big part of our business, are the Slovak Americans or Slovak Canadians. They search for their ancestors. They have made, many of them, they have never been to Slovakia, or they were in Slovakia, in Czechoslovakia, for example, before 1989. And now they want to come back to this country. And we, with the help of a professional genealogist, we cooperate. He, for example, try to find the roots or the distant families. My wife, as I have mentioned probably in the previous podcast, that my wife, she works with us since 2014. She joined us. And she's the manager, office manager, and sometimes they say like my life manager as well, because happy wife, happy life.
Yes,
so,
it should be.
Yes,
of course.
It should be.
Shout out to Jana. Hi.
So anyway, so she also tries to call to different distant, let's say, relatives and make the connection. And then we organize it. So I, for example, start the tour, or some of our guides we start the tour with Americans or Canadians. And then we travel to the villages where there will be party, reunion. It can be really like a very, let's say, small or basic one, or it can be like a really special. It takes up, and then it takes like 1 day or 2 days. You know, everybody's excited. The Americans are super excited. The Slovaks are super excited. You know, and that's very emotional. And then this is probably which I think we started 2012, 2011 with these ancestry tours. And it became really like super, super special for us. I'm very happy also to be there as a guide and driver and translator. Because imagine like Slovak part, 10, 15, 20 people. Last year we had 80 people, so 80 Slovaks, 11 Americans. So really like a huge party. And I was like in between, like a translator. So it's like a very complicated job, super complicated job, exhausting, but super emotional for all parties, and me
I can
inclusive.
imagine. So like if, you know, I find out that my grandpa or great-grandpa would be from Slovakia, I would be a perfect client, right? And you would be a perfect company.
Yeah, you could, for example, contact us, and then through the genealogist, we just try to get as much information as possible through the archives and his experiences. And then my wife, once she gets the contact, she calls. Sometimes it's not that easy, because you call to the village to some man or woman and they think like it's a scam, you know, like, oh, whoa, what is this? So my wife needs to be also persistent, you know, like one call failed, another day, another week, you know. I remember 2011, there was a man who was like, I had a Canadian family on the other end, and I wanted to organize the party. At that time, I did it. And the man was like, no, it's kind of a scam. I don't believe you, and so on. So the next day I called. I was really like, no, I must to do it. And then the man was like, okay, I will test you. You need to tell me the 3 first names of the sisters. Okay. They are very like special names. And if you tell me the names, I don't really remember now. But if you tell me the names, then we go on. And because I had all the information from the guests, from Canadians, and also, you know, like what I found out.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so the first name is this, second this, and third this. And there was a minute of silence. And then the man was like, wow, he was really like very emotional.
He didn't expect that.
He didn't expect it. He was probably expecting kind of scammers, you know.
Yeah.
And then he started organizing his family, and it was an amazing ancestry tour near Piešťany.
Okay.
2 days full of laughter, also crying, you know. There was like lots of emotions. And that was amazing. I think these 2 days, that was, I think, 2011, 2012, that was really very special. And that was for me like, okay, never give up. Generally in life, but also in this kind of work. Because, of course, sometimes imagine like you you are 78 years old and you never heard maybe about your family abroad, and then all of a sudden it's like you got a call. It's like, oh no, I mean that can be really scam, so you must be really careful. So yeah, this is sometimes very difficult, but it's fantastic if it's like successful, if the mission is successful. And we have every season these kind of ancestry tours, and most of them, they are like super successful. Of course, sometimes it's not that emotional, that because you really don't know the relationship like in the families,
Yeah.
But mostly it's very special. It's very, I would say, unique and once in a lifetime.
And yeah, well, that's what you said. I mean, you mentioned that you have, guests or they're 70, 80 years old and even older, right? So
90 was several times we had 90 years old men and women. That was fascinating. Yeah.
90. Well, I hope I'm going to be able to travel when I'm 90.
Yeah, this is exactly like when I will be 90 and I will be able to travel, I want to be 90,
Yeah, that's exactly
amazing.
Fantastic. So what about, booking procedure? How does it look like? So I go online, I find your company and I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a call. I found that you're perfect for me. And, but, what are the steps?
We exchange emails. I will try to find out exactly like what you are looking for. How many days you would like to stay in Slovakia, maybe some other countries, because I don't know if I have ever mentioned, but we also provide high-end private tours in Poland, Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary, Slovenia, Croatia, and Italy. Yeah, Italy. Okay. I will talk about Italy later because that's for hours and hours. My passion to Italy.
That's your passion, isn't it?
But okay. So the first, I would say, the first steps are, let's say we exchange emails. I find out about like what you are really looking for. And then I will send you some, let's say, draft itinerary, another one. We just put together exactly what you are looking for. And then when you agree with everything, with the price offer as well, everything is fine, hotels, everything is fine for you and your group. Then I ask you to buy the flight tickets. And to buy the flight tickets first.
So I have to buy the ticket myself.
And then what I do, I will pre-book the hotels according to your arrival departure dates. And then actually practically when I pre-book the hotels, I double check the itinerary and we'll ask you for the deposit. And then after the deposit payment, you will have also options like how to pay deposit. And after deposit, your tour has been confirmed.
Fantastic.
It's so easy. But of course, we can have a Zoom call because some customers prefer emails only. Some customers call, so they prefer
sometimes
phone
they
calls.
Want to see you.
They want
make
Zoom
sure
meetings.
That you're real.
Exactly.
But you do have a great reviews online. I mean, I checked them, and that's part of every business. But like your reviews are fantastic, so I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I must say, we have 260 excellent reviews, which it's for me something special because behind every review, it's actually this kind of story,
Yeah.
Lots of those reviews are from ancestry tours, so it's like lots of planning, lots of activities, and then being on the tour. So the review is something very special. And actually, when I jumped to 2020, when the COVID came and our business stopped, I was also kind of thinking about like maybe it's a good time, maybe it's a time to stop with this travel business and try to start with something new.
I'm glad you didn't.
And and there were some thoughts, of course, very logical. After 12 years in the business, all of a sudden nothing. So what I did, I went on my website and I started reading my reviews, and it helped me a lot. I was really like, I remember.
Did you go from the first to the last, or from the last to the first?
I don't want to lie, like if it was this way or that way. But I remember that I put some glass of red wine.
Okay.
And I was drinking red wine, kind of really very down, like hopeless situation.
Yeah.
And then I was reading all the reviews, and that was for me like, oh no, actually, I cannot stop with this because it's like it all brought back all the memories from 2007, 8, 9, 10, and especially the 2010, 11 when we started being busier and busier, and all these family stories. And then travelers, they again and again traveled with us. So that was exactly the time like, no, I will just try to keep it and to be in the travel business and simply somehow survive. And with the 2 years of doing different business with you at the boat around company, I think I managed very well because then actually when 2022, towards the end of 2022, some new booking requests started coming. And that was for me like, okay, so now I need to talk to my boss and need to explain that I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to the business, to my business, my travel business. And so it was like January the 1st, 2023. I was again back to my office and started again. Booking requests and being busy with bookings. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Petka. Again, it was fantastic talking to you today. Lovely to have you back, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thanks.
Thank you.